We're back, people, and today we're bringing a film on Chop Robinson, Miami Dolphins edge defender, versus the New England Patriots. And, I thought, this was a little up and down game for him. I feel like versus Tennessee, the week prior, he definitely struggled. He has created, like, a pretty high pressure rate, especially through those first 3 weeks. But you could still see, like, the strengths and weaknesses of his game throughout this one. Definitely, like, as a pass rusher, ending up on the ground too often. You can still see, like, the explosiveness, the speed to power. He plays, like, very, very fast, sometimes too fast, like a little out of control. But you can see that first step. He needs to work on his balance, too. Like, because he plays so low, like, if you look at his first step here, like, he's flying off the ball, but just gets stonewalled instantly. Either, will try to win around the edge. He's got to be able to stay on his feet. I actually thought he did a good job versus, like, screens in this game, dropping into coverage. Also playing the run, I thought it was probably his best game setting the edge, which is a nice surprise. That was better than I thought. Like, if other people played the run a little bit better, Chop was actually in the right position. So, like, overall, like, he made some plays. He had some, he had a QB hit. He had a few pressures out there. But you can still see the problem when it comes to his pass rushing. Like, he clearly can win in a certain way, maybe 2 ways. But, like, if he doesn't open up that repertoire, which I don't expect it to, maybe open up too much this season. Like, that's why I thought, he was a little more of a project because there's things that he needs to work on. But when he's able to, get after it, either catch the guy off balance, use his speed to power, and he's actually able to stay on his feet, like, he needs to work his balance. I think balance and body control is one of the most important athletic traits for, like, any position. Certain positions it matters more, but, like, you got to be able to stay on your feet. Like, here, able to work a stunt. I want to see, Chop plays a lot at the right defensive end. I think all of his best reps come at the left side. Like, I think he looks better just truly pass rushing as a hand in the dirt left defensive end. I think he just looks more comfortable there. But here on the right side, when he's able to, like, he gets chipped, he's able to work this stunt, find this gap, he's able to split this, show some good core strength to split through this, good hand placement, throw your hands to the back there, get through it, get skinny, love all that, burst through, get a nice clean hit, which forces, like, Brissett to overthrow this. So it's nice to see, Chop getting those types of pressures and stuff. I still want to see him playing standing up in the A gap, the B gap, win from the interior. I think, that's something he always looked very comfortable at in college. I think some of the usage has made it tough. I feel like people that are, like, Chop definitely needs to play better. You'll see some of these clips where I'm like, what do you, like, the reps there is definitely rough. But some of these clips are definitely good, too. But I do think the usage could be a little bit better to maximize his skill set. Like, right here is a mix of the good and the bad. You see him get a one-on-one left defensive end where I think he looks way more comfortable in his true pass sets. He flies off the ball. Look at his first step. His first step is so much faster than everyone else. Forces the right tackle to really get out of his stance. And then he's able to win around the edge with a nice little two-hand swipe. Just boom, two-hand swipe. Beat that outside hand. This is another way he can win. We haven't seen it too much at the NFL level, but this is what either one with speed to power, this, like, sort of two-hand swipe winning to the outside, or just, like, winning on the interior with pure speed with, like, a nice cutting back across the face. He's able to, like, he wins this rep, but once he gets here, he gets low, he bends and dips underneath. Like, the problem is, like, he shows, like, he can play with dip and bend. It's just he's so low to the ground anyways, is, like, a naturally, shorter player. Once he gets here, he's got to be able to keep his balance, man. If he is able to improve his balance, the ability to stay on his feet, like right here, able to bend and arch towards the quarterback, which he's not able to. Like, this is such a good start of the rep. It's just the end part where he's not able to stay on his feet as often. So, like, it's definitely, like, the positives. That stuff is there. Here's another example of it. Him win to the outside with a two-hand swipe. Boom. Like, I like the burst off the ball. He's definitely the fastest one off of it. Like, insane first step. You can't teach that type of first step. Uses his hands well here. Good hand fighting. But once he dips under here, like, he is in a position to get after the quarterback, but he's just working maybe too fast for his own good, where he's not able to bend and, corner to the quarterback, or then slip, fall. Like, it's just unfortunate. Like, if you got that size and speed, you have to be able to play with better bend and balance. Like, that has to be, like, you're the cornerstone of your game. So ending up on the ground way too often, in my opinion, that's something that has to be improved upon for him to really take that next step. It's probably the most important thing, specifically as a pass rusher, because I thought he did some other good things in this game, but then sometimes he got stonewalled, especially at the right defensive end, as I was talking about. The left defensive ends reps look better, even though he was, slipping, ending up on the ground, not finishing. But some of the right defensive end reps, like, he never even got close to the quarterback. Like, when he went one-on-one, Here he actually does get hands to the face. Like, there was a couple times he got hit in the face. Like, that guy hits him hands to the face and doesn't get called for a penalty. So, I don't blame him too much, but it just feels like he looks way less comfortable. And when he gets, like, hands on him, then he's not able to catch the guy off balance. So, like, to be fair, he should draw a penalty here, but, like, he doesn't get any sort of push. And that was, like, pretty common, I think, throughout the game. This is, like, one of the only reps where I think he got some push versus this left tackle. And without even, like, he's getting, like, he's not even getting, like, a lot of, like, this tight end is aligned tight in, like, a nasty split. He's not able to get, like, super wide. He thinks he might get chipped. He's not able to gain a lot of momentum here. I like his footwork, too. He sort of sets this up with, like, a hard jab to the inside. Kind of is able to catch the offensive line off balance. It's kind of where he wins his reps. He's able to actually create some push there. And it's fine. Like, I want to be able to win with, like, a speed rush or bull rush, speed to power type thing like this. I just think he's got to be able to expand the repertoire, because if he is able to, like, this is definitely a move that's in his bag. It's just when you do that, it is hard to constantly get sacks out of it. It is nice to create pressures, but usually that type of play, a bull rush like that, usually helps get sacks for other players, or the ball is coming out quickly. Another rep where Chop sort of ends up on the ground, as you can see here. They slide to protection to the right. He sort of knifes down because he thinks it could potentially be a run, but he sees the tight end coming after him, identifies that it's pass. I mean, you can see the quickness, the burst. Tight end's not going to be able to actually block him one-on-one like this. Chop's able to avoid him. It's just kind of loses his balance again. Sometimes he plays too fast for his own good. Like, I do love, like, he gets a pressure and he forces Brissett to feel uncomfortable. It's just, damn, he's playing like, he's always playing at 100 in these situations. And sometimes there's a little more nuance to the game. Things aren't always, like, super black and white where you're just, like, you want to take your time a little bit, play with a little bit of, like, there's players out there that do a great job of mixing up the tempo of their rushes. It's the same thing as route runners. It's not always just 0 to 100 right away. Sometimes you go up to, like, 70, and then you're like gliding, and then you hit that extra to the 100 to really catch people off guard. It just makes it harder for you to get blocked, and that's, like, another rep of it. Here, Chop, the ball's coming out super quickly, but you can see, like, when he's able to get up underneath you, catch you off guard, the burst off the ball, you can see he's just so much quicker off the ball than everyone else. Then get engaged into you, boom, hands into the chest, really able to lift you up, good leverage, be able to play with this bend. Now, sometimes when he does use speed to power, as you'll see in another clip, he'll end up on the ground because of the snatch and trap, but when he's able to actually lift him up like this, forklift, now he was going to push this right tackle was going to get pushed directly back into the QB, except Brissett gets rid of the ball very quickly, which they end up getting a stop, to force it, a fourth down into a punt. But Chop clearly has, like, ways to win and get after the quarterback. He just needs to be way more consistent with it and then learn to finish and just really add to the repertoire. Like, right here, this play, look at him time the snap here. Look at his get off. Like, there's so much to like with the first part of this rep. This is why there's the good and the bad, because I feel like each rep has good, but then each rep also has bad, because, like, the first step is insane. You can see it from the outside view better. Just look how quickly he's off the ball compared to everyone else. He's getting a one-on-one with his left tackle. Boom. He gets engaged instantly. Stonewalled. The rep's over. Like, he has no way to disengage. He has no counter move. He isn't able to win his speed to power. He tries to, like, hit a swipe down and win around the edge, and he has no counter to it, no spin, and just loses the rep right after that. There's not too much to show after the fact. Like, the ball just, is getting rid of, but too many reps, I think, are just like that, where, like, you can see the potential there. Like, and this isn't, like, I know I've seen people call him Charles Harris. Personally, I never liked Charles Harris coming out of college. I never saw it with any of him. Like, I didn't think his skills translate to the next level. I think Chop Robinson has skills that clearly translate to the NFL level, but like, he has stuff that you just can't teach. It's just, can he put it all together? And it seems like, he plays, hard, like here versus screen. He's not the most instinctive space player, but I thought he made some good plays in these types of situations. He identifies the screen, and once he sees it, he'll change direction, show off the speed to chase down the receiver. That only becomes like a 5-yard gain, and it's blocked up pretty well. It's pretty good work there from Chop. So, got to give him credit for this type of stuff. I thought he did well in this area. I think it was really the pass rushing that was up and down. Probably his best game versus the run, I would say. The Titans game was definitely his worst game, like, all around. Just versus the run, as a pass rusher, I feel like he literally had, like, no positive reps. The first 3 games, he showed the pass rush potential, but kind of struggled versus the run. This game, I actually thought he was better versus the run. Still showed the pass rush potential, but not as much as I would like. And then dropping into coverage, I thought he looked fairly comfortable. Clearly, I think has the athleticism to do it. Like, he's not the biggest guy that can't move in space. He can drop back here, find the receiver who sits down at the sticks, identifies it. They're blitzing like everyone off the edge here. This is like one of the first plays of the game. This is the most snaps Chop played in a game. So dropping into coverage, getting in a throwing lane near the sticks on a third down. Love seeing that from Chop. Definitely one of the better things from this game. And then I thought he set the edge pretty nicely. Like, here he's able to reset the line of scrimmage, boom, set the edge. If you can see, all the other offensive linemen are either still at the line of scrimmage or pushing down the field. Chop is able to reset this line and still, like, he sets the edge here. Like, he's able to peel off to the inside, but still set the edge where, like, Stevenson can't bounce this to the outside. Unfortunately, the rest of the D-line / linebacker kind of are losing on the rep. They're not able to, like, clean that up. But that was a pretty good rep, I think, from Chop. When he did have to set the edge, I thought it looked fairly good. Here he's dropping into coverage, off the edge. They run a screen. He identifies the screen, boom, slip the block out in space. I feel like he looks way more comfortable slipping blocks in these types of scenarios. You just got to translate that to pass rushing because he clearly should be a pass rusher. And then, boom. I just think they need to find a better usage role-wise. I know they want to give him as many reps as possible in those situations he needs to grow in, but like if they want him to play positively, there is ways to use his skill set to more of that advantage. But here, setting the edge again, like, boom, get engaged, reset the line. Like, he pushes back the offensive tackle just enough. He has the outside leverage. He's using that inside hand to extend. Now, if there's able to be some disruption created from the interior, Chop is doing a great job forcing this back to the inside. Was also able to peel off. Like, if he does try to work through this gap, Chop would have been able to peel off and make a play. Unfortunately, there was some miscommunication there between Deshaun Hand and David Long. But Chop is setting the edge. Again, setting the edge. Not getting, like, and it's not like he's setting the edge and getting super widened. Like, no, he's resetting the line of scrimmage. He's not getting, like, super widened. He's forcing this all back to the inside. He's also still able to, like, once he forced them to the inside, still peel off back to the inside. So he's able to potentially get involved, which in here he does. Like, there was a lot of positive, I think, setting the edge reps from Chop, which was surprising, I think, when I was watching the film. It was much better than I expected. But here's, like, one of those passes where they go play action, so it's not, like, super fire off the ball, but then he tries to adjust, because he thinks it might be run with the play action, but then he identifies pass, so then he tries to, use that speed to power, and he just gets right there. He might be getting held a little bit, too, but he gets snatched and trapped, which is unfortunate. Sometimes Chop gets too low, gets over the top too for his own good, and then just, boom, gets trapped straight to the ground, just on the ground, far too often. This is a pretty good play, because loved how the Dolphins used the blitzes in this game and how they showed a lot of pressure, and then they would have Chop. Like, Chop looks like he's going to blitz here. Once he sees the running back leak out, boom, he's responsible for him man-to-man into the flat. I love that you can ask him to be able to do that, have that sort of versatility. Like, you're not going to ask him to do crazy coverage things, but for him to be able to do that is pretty impressive, and then you can bring the blitz from the other side. Really, really like that from the Dolphins' versatile usage. I think it helps with a lot of different looks. So, overall, like, I don't think the game was as bad as some people think, maybe watching it live and seeing some reps, because there was definitely bad reps where he ended up on the ground or just got instantly stonewalled. But there was still, like, you could still see the potential on those reps, so don't want to, excuse it too much. But he is, like, I feel like people calling him a bust is definitely kind of crazy. Like, he's 5 games into his career and hasn't played that many snaps yet. He started to play the run better in this game. Obviously, it's New England, who doesn't have the best O-line. So, like, I still need to see a lot of growth from Chop. I still think it can happen, and he's going to get a lot of opportunities to show it with the injuries at the edge position. So, it will be exciting. I think a very exciting player to watch throughout the season. I think at some point, like, he's definitely going to have a rep where he just, like, explodes into the backfield and gets, like, a sack or something like that. Because clearly, man, this guy plays at just a different speed. It's just really, really, like, honing in his skill set, because there's a lot of nuance that he needs to add to his game. But overall, not as bad, I think, as people think from watching this game live. The Titans game was bad. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not... Like, he was very bad versus the Titans. But this game, I don't think he was too bad. Like, he made some plays, was smart, played pretty disciplined. It's just cleaning up the pass rush stuff. Adding more of the repertoire. Staying on your feet. Balance. Body control. Like, he was using his hands better when he had those reps. Still able to create some pressure, though. Like, he has a higher, like, pretty high pressure rate. It's just being able to translate that into some finishes because it's not quite there yet for Chop. So if you guys really much like, can you subscribe to the